Hey everyone, before we start, I just want to talk about Yone's items and runes. And the first item I'd go for is Blade of the Ruined King. This item helps Yone increase his overall jungle clear by giving him damage, attack speed, lifesteal, on-hit passive, and a slow, allowing him to chase down targets a lot easier. Then the second item I'd go for is Immortal Shield Bow. This item gives Yone all of the stats that he needs, such as more damage, critical strike, attack speed, lifesteal, and a shield, allowing him to last longer in team fights so that he doesn't get bursted down as easily. Third item I'd go for is Infinity Edge. At this point, you're already quite durable and you're lacking a bit of damage. This would solve that problem, giving him damage and his 100% critical strike, his crits dealing more damage as well. Then we go with the Steel-Plated Stasis. You could go for the Mercury Threads if they have a lot of crowd control, but usually you'd go for the Steel-Plated Stasis if they are AD heavy team. Stasis is also good into helping you buy time as well as dodge those combos that can easily burst you down. After this, you could go for the Divine Sunder. If they are quite tanky, this would help you gain more durability, help you deal more damage against them, a bit of ability haste, and more damage. An alternative item for this is Wit's End. If they are more on the AP heavy, then this would give you more attack speed, magic resist, as well as more lifesteal. Last item I'd go for is Guardian Angel. This would give you a second life, and it's very crucial when you're in the late game that you live as much as possible. Going to the runes, the first rune I would go for is Lethal Tempo. This is very important for Yone since more attack speed decreases the cooldown of his first skill, and with max stacks lethal, you would always be able to spam your first. Then the second rune I'd go for is Hunter Vampirism. This would give me additional damage and lifesteal, allowing me to be able to poke targets and lifesteal my HP back just in case I get poked back. You could also go for the Triumph if you're looking for a more burstier build, but generally speaking, I'd go for the Hunter Vampirism because it's a lot better overall. Third rune I'd go for is Nullifying Orb. This would give you an additional shield if you're low on HP. Stacking it with the Shield Bow, you'd have a lot of shields, allowing you to not get bursted down. But if they have Serpent's Fang, another rune that I could go for is Bone Plating. This way, even though they are playing Kha'Zix or Zed and have Serpent's Fang, this would help mitigate the damage by a lot. Then the last rune I'd go for is Nimbus Cloak. This allows you to become a lot faster when escaping or when chasing down targets when using your summoner spell. An alternative for this would be Mastermind. You'd only go for this if you're confident that your team would be able to get an objective. But otherwise, Nimbus Cloak is a lot better all around. And that is it for Yone's items and runes, and I will see you guys in game. Going into the game, I'm going to be playing Jungle Yone and use him to his maximum potential. In this matchup, we're currently up against Aatrox, and in a Yone versus Aatrox, this should be favorable for the Aatrox in the early game due to having a faster clear and a bit of more damage overall. But once it gets to the late game, this should favor the Yone. Since we are a late game scaling champion, we would be able to make plays by ourselves, unlike Aatrox who is very reliant on his team when it comes to the later stages of the game. I went for a control ward on the top side river so that I would know which scuttler the Aatrox would go for, then go to my bot side to start my clear. The clear that I'm doing is a red side clear into a full clear because Yone would not be able to do much in the early game, and you need to farm your Blade of the Ruined King as soon as possible so that you could start having an impact in the game. Just because you want to go for a full clear doesn't mean that you wouldn't gank any lane no matter what. Of course, if there's a gankable lane and once you're level 5, there's a chance that you would be able to have some impact when it comes to the side lanes or even the mid lane. Yone's clear has gotten a lot weaker due to the nerfs that he has been receiving, but overall, it's still quite decent and it's still very much doable. One tip when playing Jungle Yone is to always put 2 points on your first skill when you reach level 3 so that it would increase your overall clear. The only reason or the only time that I would put a point on the third skill rather than the first skill is when there's a possible level 3 gank that I could do. Otherwise, you would always want to focus on clearing your camps as fast as possible, get your level 5, so that you would be able to have more efficient ganks. And another thing here is if you've noticed, our duo bot was able to get a 2-for-none trade, which is really good because when playing Yone in the jungle, you wouldn't want your laners to lose lane or get ganked by the enemy jungler because you wouldn't be able to do much in the early game. So it's best if your laners are even or ahead so that you would be able to scale up properly. Speaking of which, mid lane gets ganked, and this is one of the things that you can't do much when playing jungle Yone. And with Aatrox wanting to contest the top Scott, I wouldn't be able to do much because I would lose the 1v1 duel, as well as we have no mid priority. So I have to sacrifice the Scuttle, and I see Aatrox going straight for the top lane gank instead. Forced to smite the Gromp so I could help my team as soon as possible. Our ADC goes down, go in with my third skill, poke the Aatrox a bit. As soon as I see him low, I go in with my own flash, execute him with my third skill, and with that, I already have my ultimate, stun the Varus, position myself for a 2-man knockup, take down their ADC, Nami pretty low, Lux is able to execute with her own ulti, and with that, pretty clean clash from us, we're able to get a 3-4-2 trade. Not only are we able to help our team, we're also able to get kills, and that would translate into items, helping us scale a lot faster. As much as possible when playing Yone, you'd always want to complete your first item before the first objective, and with what's happening right now, if you're able to get a kill or assist, this would greatly help you get that Blade of the Ruined King before the first objective. I wanted to go for the Krugs, but as soon as I see a fight happening mid lane, I try to help the Lux, but with a 1-for-1 trade happening, this should be good enough for me, so I go back to farm my own camps. Top side, their Nami goes down as well, which is good for us, and I go back to clear my camps. As much as possible, you'd always want to clear camps before doing anything else in the map. And looking at the bot side, I see that there's Yone and Sett fighting each other. Sett with a great ultimate flashing away. Even though I'm not able to take down their Baron laner, this should be enough because we're able to force Sett's ultimate as well as his flash. With the red buff up, we go and start clearing it, and seeing at the left side, I'm already able to buy my Blade of the Ruined King at 4 minutes, which is already quite fast for us. Our laners are ahead. The opponents are not able to get the early kills that they need, and this would be very good news for us. I wanted to go back and buy my Blade of the Ruined King, but as soon as I see Sett chasing down the Renekton who's pretty low, I know that Sett has no more flash and ultimate from earlier, so this could be a possible gank that we could do, but their Sett played safe and I'm not able to do a successful gank, so I just go back to buy my item. Boots is also available, which is good, and I could go for either the Dragon or the Rift Herald. Usually I'd go for the Rift Herald because I need gold as much as possible, but if we're ahead, especially in this state, we could go for the Dragon so that we could stack the objective pretty fast. With the objective spawning in 10 seconds, I'm already in position to either contest or take the objective as soon as it spawns. Seeing that my teammates are being aggressive on the top side, I get 2 stacks on my first skill, go in with my third skill, knock up the Nami, then use my ultimate to reach the Varus, getting a 2-man knockup and securing a double kill on the top side. This would give us the objective since there's no one else to contest. I take down the Scuttle before starting the Dragon because Zed might be able to burst me down, and looking at the positioning of the opponents, they just went for the trade. Renekton was able to get a kill onto the Sett, and we're not only able to trade 1-for-1 objectives, we're also able to get some kills in the top side. We take the objective, and at this point, the gold is not that important because we're massively ahead. The most important thing is that we're able to stack dragons as well, because if we're able to stack the 3 dragons and combine it with a late game champion, this would almost guarantee a win unless we massively throw the game. Going back, we buy some items, our bot side camps are up, and we go for a Raptor clear first because there's a high chance that they would spawn the Herald mid. Yup, and with a new Herald, they would be able to take the first tower, which is good for them, but not without cost. We poke down the Zed, take him pretty low, and execute him with a third skill. And with that, at least we're able to get a small trade. We go back to our own jungle, clear the Krugs, looking at any possible lane that we could go for since our ultimate is up. Another tip when playing jungle Yone is that you would want to gank as much as possible when your ulti is up. I looked to see if I could go for a bot lane gank, but as soon as I don't see Sett there anymore, I just go to my red, start clearing it, and as you could see with the Blade of the Ruined King, my clear is a lot faster, and it would only get faster once I'm able to complete more items. Yone's power spike is when he is able to complete 2 items, that's when he would be able to deal a lot of damage and become a lot durable overall. Seeing that there's no more camps, I could go for another top lane gank. Zed goes in, takes down our ADC. I use my third skill again, use my ultimate, but this time I'm not able to tag anyone, so I have no choice but to go back. I poke Aatrox a bit, he deals a bit of damage. Varus with a poke, and I'm able to escape with 1 HP. Very lucky for us, but we have no choice but to go back. The opponents are doing a good job camping our top side. Jinx Karma have no mobility skills, so if they have no flash, they're very easy to gank, and that's what the opponents are doing right now. Zed is able to get another kill topside, and with that, Zed is getting a bit scarier. His Serpent's Fang counters the shield bow plus nullifying orb that I could have. I go and secure the blue buff, and another tip with Yone is to always hit the camps 2 times before going for a gank. That way you would have a knockup ready, go in for a bit of a poke, put the Nami low, dodge her ultimate, we force it as well, and that's good enough for me. I go back to my own camps. I could go for another topside gank. I just want to clear the Gromp before doing so. Stack it a bit. I have another knockup, but seeing the positioning quite far, I just go back, try to cover the top side, and as soon as Zed goes in, we go in for the punish. Third skill, ultimate, Zed is able to flash out, but we poke the Aatrox, put him pretty low with a knockup. We stack our first skill again before doing anything else. Look at their positioning. Aatrox is quite far. Karma lives with 1 HP. Unfortunately, gets taken down by Nanami. We're able to get a 1-for-1 trade. We dash through the terrain, go in with the third skill. Unfortunately, we get bubbled, but it's okay. The good thing that's happening right now is even though our bot lane is, or duo lane is getting ganked over and over again, we're able to get some trades. We cancel Nami's recall, we clear the wave, then we go back to buy our shield bow. This is when we become a lot scarier and have critical strike in our kit. I wanted to go back, but Zed overextends. Renekton is there as well. Once he's able to hit him with the second skill, most likely he would die, but Zed went for the second skill instead. And it's actually a better result for us because our Jinx was able to get a shutdown and help her get back into the game, since she's always getting ganked every time. Our team is going for another clash topside. I'm quite far, I wouldn't be able to help, so I just go for my bot lane camps. I could go for the mid tower because the opponents are all at the top side. There's a fight. This would most probably be better because we're able to get a free tower as well as free farm in the map. As much as possible, you'd always want to do something or do a macro play when there's a fight happening. It's either you're there helping or you're pushing towers. You don't want to farm your own camps unless there's something else that you could do. Zed goes for the all-in, and we're able to predict him going back to his own shadow, getting a 1-for-1 trade, and with their jungler spawning in 17 seconds, we should be able to secure the dragon once my smite goes up. Getting 2 stacks on my first kill, seeing that their set is out of position, we go in and go for the punish. Look how much damage that I deal. I play it a bit safe. Third skill, first skill, get a 2-man knockup. We dodge Nami's ultimate as well as that second skill. Varus kinda chokes with the ult flash. We try to chase him down, but with Nami slow, we're not able to. We go for the set instead. Get another 2-man knockup. Get 2 stacks. Third skill is up. We dodge the bubble. Get another knockup. We poke down the Nami. Take down the set with the execute of our third skill. And with their Zed having teleport, I could have exited on the left side with a dash, but I choked a bit. Nevertheless, we did what we could. Very weird on how we lost the fight because going into it, it was a 4v3. And with me zoning the set plus Nami, plus Varus choking his flash ultimate, we're still not able to secure the dragon and win the team fight cleanly. But it's okay because we're a late game Ski League champion and we still should have the upper hand when it comes to the late game. Once spawning, I want to farm for my Infinity Edge so that we would be able to achieve 100% crit and become a lot more scarier in team fights. Looking at my camps, they're all up. I start with the red buff, probably go for a path to the top side, and then look for another possible gank. Red buff is very important for Yone because it gives me a slow and a bit of an additional DPS. Seeing that another fight is happening bot side, our duo lane is always getting ganked. I try to go and help. Third skill, ultimate, get a 2-man knockup. We clean up the duo bot of the opponents, get a kill onto the set as well. And with the Baron spawning in 10 seconds, even though our Jinx fell, it's ultimately a 1 for 3 exchange. Yone deals a lot of damage, Blade of the Ruined King, helping me clean the Baron a lot faster. Ping my team to go for the Baron because it just spawned, and with a jungler at the top side, there's a very low chance that they would be able to contest. Zed chose top side as well. Renekton was able to escape with 1 HP, hopefully still able to live. Even though they're able to get our Renekton, this should be a free Baron for us. And with Baron becoming very squishy, it's easy for us to take this objective. Renekton lives. I use my third skill, play it a bit safe, but seeing that the opponents just spawned, it's quite risky to take that blue buff. We go back instead, buy our Infinity Edge, buy Stasis just in case Zed goes for a combo onto us, get the blue buff before doing anything else in the map. With Baron Nashor lasting 1 minute 30 seconds, which is quite fast, there's not much time for us to farm, and I want to push the tower as soon as possible. What we're doing now is a basic 4-1 split push, wherein once we take down the mid inhibitor, we would be able to safely transition bot side and possibly take down the inhibitor there as well. What usually Yone players want to do at this stage is look for jungle camps, then stack the first skill, get 2 stacks, and then go in with the third skill plus first skill for a knockup, and if we're able to get a multi-man knockup, we follow up with our own ultimate. Aatrox is at the side lane, we poke him a bit, get stacks on our first skill, go in with the first plus ultimate, deal a lot of damage into the backline, we poke them a bit, take down the Aatrox, knock up the Varus, bait him with our own stasis, and with that, we're able to burn Nami plus Zed's ultimate, deal a lot of damage onto their backline, and easily win the team fight. Instead of pushing, what I'm doing is looking for camps so I could lifesteal, and with a Hunter Vampirism, Shield Bow plus Blade of the Ruined King, we easily get full HP just by clearing jungle camps. With a mid inhibitor down, I transition bot side, looking for a push, but looking at the positioning of my teammates, seeing them go back, I just go back instead as well. Because if I go for a push at the bot side, there's a high chance that I will get outnumbered, and I don't want to get caught at this stage of the game. The next item that I'm building is Divine Sunder. This would not only make me tankier, it would also help me deal more damage. With all of my camps up, I take the red buff, buff sharing onto the Jinx, and see on which objective that I could go next. Baron is spawning soon, and another fight is happening at the mid lane. I'm there to help, use my third skill to poke the Aatrox plus Set, get a knockup onto their Set, and take him down. Jinx flashes in, gets a kill onto the Varus. Unfortunately, dies to the Aatrox, but overall, it's a 2 for 2 trade. We should still be good for us. And with Renekton pushing bot, we could possibly get Zed once Renekton gets a stun. Unfortunately, misses it. Zed is able to go away. We flash in. Unfortunately, we get outplayed as well. And with that, we have no choice but to go back to our base. Lux is playing a bit greedy. Aatrox tries to take her down. I go in position myself, get some damage onto the Aatrox, but seeing that he's quite tanky, we just go back, play safe because the dragon is up, plus Baron will be up soon. I still don't have enough gold for Sunder, unfortunate, but we should be still pretty strong when it comes to the team fights. Once the Jinx spawns, we go and stack our first skill, clear some camps before starting the objective. Renekton still wants to push bot side. He has Hullbreaker, and since Zed is there, it still would be a 4v4, which is favorable for us. Third skill, first skill, get a 2-man knockup, following up with our own ultimate. We take down the Nami, go back to our third skill, executing the Aatrox as well, get a knockup onto the Set, and with that, we're cleanly able to get a 3-for-none exchange. Unfortunately, Renekton falls down. We go in with a knockup trying to reach the Varus. Once he forces the flash, we go back and secure the dragon. With 3 of their members down, we could possibly go for Baron and through mid or go to the top side. Seeing that the Jinx is at the top side with a huge wave, we could go there instead. I look for another fight that I could go for. Zed pokes the Lux pretty low. We're able to take down the Zed. He plays a bit greedy, wanting to take down the Lux. He trades it with his own life. And with that, Varus is the only one left. And with him having no more flash from earlier, we go in with the ultimate, get an execute onto him, and end the game. Overall, we're able to do a lot of plays into the game, help our team get ahead, good counter ganking, plus good usage of skill. 87.73% in Grandmaster. We get MVP. Our team bid pretty well. Bot lane, despite getting ganked every day, was able to hold out. Most damage dealt plus most damage taken. 13, 1, and 9. And hopefully you guys enjoyed on how we played our jungle Yone. That's it for me, and see you next time. Peace out. Ciao, ciao.